Good morning, good morning, good morning, or good afternoon for some. I'm going to do a little Bible studying right quick. I'll be coming out of James, and I'm going to be in the third chapter. We're going to do 1 through 12, and I'm going to be talking about teaching, how teachers are held more accountable for teaching the Word of God than actually preaching or any other. And when dealing with teaching, the biggest thing that we have is our tongue. So when we are teaching, if we're not careful with what we're teaching, we're held at a higher standard of accountability than anyone who is preaching, singing, or anything else. So I'm going to dive into a little introduction. It says, temptation and trials are common to all, but some are especially common to teachers. One of the greatest temptations is the abuse of the tongue. Think about the tongue for a moment. How many times have we gotten into serious trouble? Because of an ill-spoken word, because of speaking without thinking, because of expressing our opinions in a hurtful way, because of some vile words we uttered, because we allowed a cursing to come out instead of a blessing. James gives us some very strong advice in this lesson, advice that every believer must pay close attention to and apply. The tongue is to be used for blessings and not cursing, but how many of us actually live that? I have even found myself to be using my tongue for cursing people, and I don't mean using profanity words. I mean literally putting curses on people's lives instead of blessing them. We must not allow our tongues to be used for evil and hellish purposes. We must put under subjection the most unruly member of our body, the untamed tongue. So now, as we get into that, the tongue, the tool of the teacher, causes the teacher to face a stricter judgment. So now, because we are put in a higher place, some of us are called to teach, some of us are called to preach, and then some of us have different types of gifts that God has blessed us with to use. The tongue stumbles and sins often. The tongue is a little member boasting great things. The tongue is a fire, a word of iniquity. The tongue is a restless evil. The tongue is the smallest thing on our body, but yet it is the biggest destruction. Because if we're not careful, whatever we bring out our mouths can hurt people. It can cause happiness, it can cause sadness. And yet, we're the only ones that can control it, that can tame it. But we have to understand that we are the ones, ourselves are the one